How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the out of work generation. Let's start this week's blog with the beginnings of a list of jobs that probably won't exist by the end of this decade. The list is by no means meant to be exhaustive, but we have to start somewhere, so let's start with some obvious things. We already have level 4 autonomous driving vehicles on the public roads. Level 5 will require no driver at all. We should hit that level sometime over the course of 2022. What's that going to do to taxi drivers, truck drivers? We already have autonomous delivery pods that will get rid of the local delivery vans, and as time goes on, that will wipe out a serious number of jobs. Banks are becoming increasingly pointless, cumbersome, and expensive. 95% of my banking needs are now taken care of by automated banking systems. By the end of this decade, I seriously wonder if there will be a high street bank left in the modern world. Peer-to-peer payments are already common using blockchain-based banks, and the costs are negligible. Borrowing money, investing money, swapping between jurisdictions, I do it all online, using blockchain technology. It takes me seconds and I don't have to leave my armchair. If High Street Bank employees are still at their desks in the 30s, well, I should be very surprised. We have intelligent contracts. Initially, there'll be a few cock-ups as the writers of these contracts learn the new routines, but the new way of doing things will undoubtedly start to decimate legal firms' current business. And who is going to need conveyancers when the land registry goes over to blockchain technology? You'll be able to transfer your house to someone else in minutes and at low cost using the new technology, which already exists. It merely needs implementing at scale. Middlemen will be cut down in swathes as this new technology sweeps the world. Even in the service industries, do you honestly think people won't be made redundant? There are even machines that can vaccinate you. Call centres can now be serviced by AIs with the ability to carry on conversations with clients, and it's difficult to tell that you're indeed talking to a machine. Let me go one stage further with this. The general feeling is that all of this will not lead to people being put on the dole because the new disciplines will in turn need more workers. I think there's an obvious answer to that. With the advance of artificial intelligence, or AI, machines can be programmed to learn to do almost any task that a human can. These machines will be smarter and cheaper than humans. They will put vast swathes of the population out of work, and this will start to happen in a couple of years' time. What is all this going to do to the tax take? People go to work. Once they start earning a certain amount of money, a percentage of that money is stopped from their wage packet and sent off to the taxman. From there, it goes to the government. The government then uses that money to pay, among other things, benefits. As time has progressed, so have the adjuncts that workers have used to increase productivity. As those adjuncts take over more and more work, why not tax them as well? Or preferably, instead. The more you tax mechanical devices, the more incentive there will be to streamline the services they perform, and therefore the work needed to be done by those devices, thus encouraging efficiency in business. This move to taxing the mechanical workers will cut business expenses drastically. The tax take will rise, but the wages bill will drop through the floor, thus making the production of goods much, much cheaper, thus, of course, reducing the cost of living. Wait a minute, doesn't this sound pretty good after all? There is now some money to pay the laid-off workers. There is still a problem with what they do with their time, but that's another story. These days, not only can we watch football matches, courtesy of a television channel, or a specialised sports channel, or even YouTube, but we can even watch robots playing football. Is that the ultimate in exclusion for humans in sport? Actually, I suspect not. Within a year or two, we will be able to choose a robot player in a digital game, take it off the field and, courtesy of Augmented Reality or AR, replace it with ourselves. Okay, where's all this leading? Actually, in several directions. It is making everything abstract or digital. We dispense with the football, the players, even the spectators, and even dispense in one sense with ourselves as we transfer our physical body into a digital one and play with that. To put that another way, we create an avatar for ourselves and put that avatar into the game. And of course, we can now control that avatar while we stay safely back at home. This approach to the world dispenses with the need to go anywhere. It even transforms the space we appear to inhabit. We effectively can strap ourselves into our own individually created holodeck. Isn't this the perfect way to deal with social distancing? An unlikely way forward? Not a bit of it. At this stage, I'm not going to say that such a world is just around the corner, but I certainly would not be surprised if it is. Let me explain. Have you ever walked down a street, or across a park, or sat on a train and noticed just how many people are somewhere else? Yes, they are in a digital world that they enter courtesy of their mobile phone. They're not talking to the person next to them, they're talking to someone miles away across a digital link. They could even be talking to a digital entity. Most of these people probably wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. Some of you may recognize the significance of that previous sentence. Remember Alan Turing and his Turing test? A computer has really reached its apogee when a person can sit in one room and talk to a machine in another room, and he can't tell if it's a computer. That situation is already with us, so expect all those helplines to become automated over the next couple of years. And what does an office need a front desk for? Just give people a help machine. Let me refer you to an intriguing program that is possibly still available to watch on YouTube called No Sex Please, We're Japanese. We already have people caring for Tamagotchis, which are digital pets. The program mentioned above delved further into this obsession with digital pets and digital playmates. Never mind the pets, what about the playmates? Some way into the program, the lady interviewer asks two Japanese guys a searching question. Which do you prefer, your wife or your digital playmate? There follows a rather stunning silence as they consider the question. They actually have to think deeply about the answer. Yikes, where are we heading? Clearly we are already heading into a world that is content with physical social distancing, as our digital partners are shaping up pretty well as alternatives. And holidays are about to get a lot cheaper and a lot more exciting, with even more people out of work. Don't send your kids into the hospitality sector. Want to go over the Iguazu Falls in a canoe? Easy peasy. You can do it much better using AR than actually visiting the site. And why is this? It will cost nothing. There is no long-haul jet flight, there's no disappointing hotel, and you can view the falls from several places without moving, and even go over the falls in that canoe and survive. You can appreciate the beauty, the excitement, the fear, all with no cost and no damage. What is there not to like? And later this year, All of this will start to be possible as AR is rolled out to a mobile phone near you. Next week, I'll have a closer look at how this can all be paid for. I hope you'll join me. Please do remember to click the like button. Helps my ratings. And see you next week.